yoga video. In our yoga class today, we're going to imagine going to the park. I'm going to imagine I'm sitting on the grass, not on the floor. So sit down somewhere with some space around you, with some comfy clothes on so that you can do lots of moving and stretching. I'm going to imagine I am picking a flower. This is a very special kind of flower. In the summertime, it is bright yellow. But once it's been yellow, it changes into something really magical and special. And this is a dandelion clock. And they're very fluffy and white. And it's all the seeds for the plant. They get blown by the wind to plant new flowers. So we're going to imagine we've got one of those in our hands. And we're going to blow all those little seeds up into the air. Take a great big breath. And blow out through your mouth. I want to see how many of those little seeds you can blow off in one big breath. So don't let all the air come out at once. See if you can blow for a very, very long time. So take a big breath in, hold your dandelion clock, just imagining that we've got this in front of us. We're going to take a big breath in through our nose. And then blow all the air slowly. You might imagine where all those seeds are going. You might blow some up in the air. You might blow some to the side and see if you can scatter all those seeds all over the place. And then you'll get lots of new dandelions all around you eventually, wouldn't you? So I'm going to pick another dandelion clock. I'm going to hold it here. We're going to take a big breath in. See how long you can blow out for. All around your room with those fluffy little white seeds. And they're floated all gently around. Can you imagine now your fingers are like those floating tiny little seeds. And when they touch down, they're so light that you can't feel them. Touch yourself on your knees really gently and lightly. Do that again, stretch your hands really up, tall into the air. And then when your hands come down, they're like those very, very light, fluffy, tiny seeds. See if you can touch your legs without even feeling it. It's so gentle. Great. I'm going to think about a different flower now. So just put your feet together and make like a flower shape, so a rounded kind of shape with your legs, and hold onto your ankles and sit up nice and tall. So this is like our flower that we've made here. I'm going to see if I can smell my flower. So I'm going to bend down and take a sniff. Can you get your nose all the way into your flower? I bet you can. And then come back up and sit nice and tall. Do that again. See if you can get your nose all the way into your flower. Bend down and you can smell your flower. And then come back up and sit extra tall. I'm just going to gently cross my legs. And this is for our concentration. Sometimes yoga is really good at helping us to concentrate. I'm going to see if I can make a flower with my hands by putting my thumbs together and my little fingers. And make the other fingers all really stretched out so they look like the petals of a flower. And you do that. And bring it in and look into your flower. And then stretch it out and show me the big stretched out fingers, your flower shape. Now here's our tricky bit that we have to concentrate on. I'm going to take my little fingers apart, so my thumbs are still touching. And then I'm going to roll the back of my hands together and bring my hands here. And then I'm going to keep rolling and opening my flower to show you again. And then bring my thumbs together. You can go round and round in circles. Bring your thumbs together. The backs of your hands keep touching as you come all the way round and through. And show me your flower again. Now, one last time, keep your thumbs together. Roll the backs of your hands together. See if you can keep your hands touching as they come under your chin. And then show me your flower one last time. Did you manage that? Little trick with your hands. You can share that with somebody else in your family. See if they can do that special little concentration trick with their hands. You can probably do it quite fast after a while. Thumbs, round little fingers. Thumbs, round little fingers. How speedily can you do that little thing with your hands? There's our flowers. Now, landing on our flowers, we might see butterflies, something else with our hands. You make your hand like a butterfly. We did this in another lesson that we were looking at little mini beasts and creatures, creepy crawlies and insects. You can make a butterfly fly all the way over our heads and flutter around all over the place. You can do that with your hands. And then land your butterfly. Again, butterflies are very soft and gentle and light. Land it underneath. Bring your feet together. We're going to remember this version of our butterfly. Feet together. Move your legs up and down, up and down. These butterflies are going to flutter around the park and land on the flowers. Up and down, up and down, up and down with your legs. I'm going to see if I can stretch out one of my butterfly wings. Can I keep hold of one of my feet? Have a go at this and stretch one of your legs out. And then bring it back into your butterfly shape. Try that again, see if we can do the other side. Lift your legs, see if you can stretch out one leg and you still sit up tall, and stretch one leg and bring it back so your feet are together and you sit tall. Even trickier, you might have a go at this. I'm going to hold onto my toes instead of the outside of my feet, because I found that easier. I use my 2 fingers around my big toes, and then I can balance on my bottom. And trickily balance here, stretch out one of your butterfly wings, bring your feet back together. If you're feeling like you might fall over, come a bit more forward and put your heels back down, and make sure there's nothing behind you that you might bump your head on. So make sure there's nothing behind you when you do this one. Lift up the other wing, open this side, bring it back. Are we all balancing on our bottoms? And then see if you can lengthen both out. So now we're a huge butterfly. Both of our wings stretching out, balancing our long butterfly body through the middle. And then bring your feet back together. You still balancing on that bottom. And then bring your feet back down onto the floor. They were tricky butterflies, weren't they? We're going to stand up now. And we're going to get our bodies a little bit warmer. Sometimes in the park we see people jogging. I want to see if you can jog on the spot. Get your knees working, jogging, jogging, jogging up and down. If you've got lots of space in your room, you can have a little jog around your room. Keep your knees working, keep walking up and down, jogging, jogging, jogging. And you feel your breath going a little bit faster, and your body getting a bit warmer as you jog. Maybe on the spot, and maybe somewhere else in the room. Keep jogging, jogging, jogging. Don't leave the room though, stay here with me. Are we still jogging? Are we still jogging? And then come back to wherever you can see me best, in the middle of your room, and rest. Put your hand here on your heart. Can you feel that you're breathing a little bit quicker? And maybe you might even feel your heart beating underneath your hands. If you jogged all the time that I was jogging, maybe your heart is going a little bit faster. I'm going to see if I can jog once more and see if I might be able to touch my bottom with my heels. Put my hands here and then I'm going to flick my feet. Now we're jogging around the park. Flick, 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 flick. And you touch your own hands with your heels whilst you jog. Spring, 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 nice and lightly. Like a jogger in the park. And then when the joggers have done all their jogging around, sometimes we see them stretching. Put one leg behind you. Stretch your heel down. Stretch that leg. Take a big breath and then do the other one. Put this one forward and this one back. Stretch. And then come back to stand. We're standing tall now. We're going to think about something else that's in most parks, and that's trees. So we've had little tiny flowers on the ground. Now we're thinking about some trees. A couple of ways of making a tree. First one, we're going to do balancing. So we're going to press one of our feet in the floor and lift the other one up so I can just touch with my toes maybe. Keep this just to help me balance. I might be able to pick it up and just put it here. See if you can balance on one leg. Our trees have great big branches. We're going to lift our arms up wide, maybe out to the side, because that will help us balance, like our big, wide branches. Our trunk is very strong and steady and our branches are long. Can you stand on one leg? Are you still there? Stand nice and tall, like a strong tree. So this helps us concentrate too. Being able to balance is very good for our concentration. So we've got to really concentrate on staying there. If we get distracted and start looking around the room, we might fall over. So you've got to stand nice and still and keep looking at something in front of you. Are you still on one leg? We were there a long time, weren't we? Put that foot down, we'll try it on the other side. So it might be that your toes are just on the floor here, and you just put your heel up, so you've got most of your weight on your trunk. Or maybe you can pick this foot up, put it against your leg, take your big wide branches. So you can stand there nice and still, and stay there a little bit longer. I'm going to count from 3 back to 1, and then we can put our foot down. 3, 2, 1, and then put your foot down. Great balancing. I'm going to cross my feet. Sometimes trees are quite twisty. I've got a twisty trunk. I'm going to cross my feet like a twisty, twisty trunk. And I'm going to twist my arms like a twisted tree. My trunk is all twisted and my branches are all twisted. Can you twist yourself up? Branches and a twisty, twisty trunk. I'm going to cross my legs the other way. This one's going to come in front. I can cross my arms the other way as well. Twist up your legs, twist up your arms. Be a twisty tree with twisty branches. Great. And then bring your feet back to the floor. One more tree, this tree, is getting blown over by the wind. Sometimes if I walk on the hills, I can see trees that are blown, always got the wind coming from the same direction, and they end up growing a little bit sideways. Or sometimes maybe it's just very windy and they start to blow over. So put your hands over the top of you and imagine the wind has blown you sideways. You're a tree, all your branches are going this way. Okay, blown over. Can you hold that position? It's quite hard to hold that. And then come up so the wind stops blowing. Then the wind's going to come from the other side and it's going to blow us over this way. Blow over to the side. Can you hold that big stretchy shape? Like the wind is blowing your branches all the way this side. And then come back up. Trickier. We're going to put those things together. Cross your feet. And then blow over sideways. There's a tricky shape. Twisty shape. And blowing over sideways. So I'm going to do that the other side. I'm going to cross my feet, put this one on top, and then I'm going to go over the top. Okay, blown over. The wind is very strong. It's blowing my branches all the way over here. And then come back up, tall and straight like a tree. Just bring your hands together here and feel very strong. In yoga we call this mountain. So we feel very strong when we're like this. Maybe we can see a mountain in the distance from our park. You stand very strongly into both feet. Press your hands together and feel very strong like a mountain. The wind definitely wouldn't blow you over if you were a mountain. So you feel very, very strong just here. I'm going to come back down and sit down on the floor again. I'm going to think about something a lot of parks have, which is big gates. And we're going to show our gate, our park gate, by doing a kneeling position. This is called gate pose in yoga. When we do grown-up yoga, we call this gate pose. You're going to put one of your feet out to the side and balance just on one knee. Can you do that? Take your arms out to the side and stretch tall with your body. And then put this hand up in the air. And this is our gate. This is our gate open. And then we're going to bend over. Doing lots of side bending today. Close your gate so you can hold on to your leg. And then open your gate, stretch your arm up and this way out to the side. And you've opened your gate. This is where your gate is. We'll do that again. Bend over, close the gate. And open the gate. And close the gate. And open the gate. Close the gate. Open the gate. Do you think you can do that on the other side? We've got to think about what our body's doing so we can make the same shape the other way. So I'm going to put this knee on the floor. I'm going to put this leg out to the side. I'm going to have this arm in the air. I can be like a mirror for you. You could look and do it like a mirror. As we're stretching through our arms, they're like the metal parts of the gate, so they stay solid. They don't flop around. They stay nice and straight. And it's our body that closes the gate and opens the gate. You keep your arms kind of fixed and just move your body. That's where the hinge on the gate is. Close the gate, open the gate. Last one. Close the gate, open the gate, and bring your feet back, the knees underneath you, and sit down on your knees for a moment. So when it's been raining and the sun comes out, sometimes we get a rainbow. This is another way we're going to bend our body sideways and make a lovely shape. So I'm going to come back onto my knees and do kind of what I did before. Put my leg out to the side. And this time I'm going to put my hand on the floor. And I'm going to put my other hand and stretch it over the top. I'm going to imagine I'm like a rainbow. So there's a rainbow shape. I keep my hips up high and I stretch all the way down the side of my body and I'm kind of like a rainbow shape. Stretching that side, making a big curve over the top. That's a big stretch, isn't it? We're going to do that the other side. Remember in yoga we often do our yoga one way and then the other so that we keep our bodies nice and even. Stretch, nice long rainbow shape all the way over. Lift up your body and let your hand come down. It's sunny, I can see the sun is shining on my face, you can probably see that. No rainbows out there but lovely sun. And then coming back up. And stretch wide and bring your feet back underneath you and sit back down. Could do some more rainbows. This rainbow, we're going to think about just doing this way round. You can see how many ways we can make a rainbow shape. We put our hands on the floor and our feet on the floor. We get our backs a little bit rounded and it sort of looks like a rainbow, doesn't it? Rounding our backs. Maybe you can press onto your feet and come up a bit higher, but try and keep your back rounding. So we did something called a dog shape, where we had very straight back and very straight legs. And see if you can keep your back rounding like a rainbow, and then lift on your feet. So you look a bit more like a rainbow. Can you hold it? Another count. 3, 2, 1. My face is disappearing into my t-shirt. Hope you could hear me. There's another rainbow. Rainbow number 3. I'm going to come down and lie on our backs. I'm going to see if we can make a rainbow in the other direction. So we're back down here. I'm going to put our feet on the floor. I'm going to push my bottom off the floor. You might need a grown-up to help you with this. Put your feet down on the floor. And then we're going to lift our tummies up. Lift your tummy up as high as you can. You can put your hands on the floor. You might even be able to feel where your own feet are. But you hold on to your own feet. And then push your tummy up into the air. And lift up. It's hard to talk like this. There's another rainbow shape. Making our back bend in a lovely curve. Like a rainbow. and then come back down and rest. Just bring your knees towards your tummy for a minute and roll on your back to relax your back. And we'll do that rainbow once more. Put your feet down, hold onto your ankles if you can reach them, and lift your bottom up. And then you can wriggle a little bit. Keep looking up towards the ceiling if you can, and push all the way up so that your back is really off the floor, that rainbow shape. And then come down and relax. Bring your knees in and give them a little squeeze. Then make a little sideways rainbow, and that's a nice thing to do after that big back bend. We're going to stretch our feet over towards the bottom of our mat, straight underneath you, and then put one leg off to the side and put the other one over the top. I'm going to imagine my rainbow now goes around this way. You see if I can make a curve body like this. Can you curve your body into a rainbow shape where you're lying down? And hold that. And sometimes we can hold a position and see what it feels like for our body to stay in this position. Just take big long breaths. Feels like a nice stretch. And we're going to do that on the other side. Put that foot to the outside and then cross your ankles, a bit like we did when we were being a twisty tree. And then I can sometimes hold on to this other hand and take my rainbow shape this way. So we're making a sideways rainbow, aren't we? As we lie on the floor. Stretch out and take a few breaths here. Big breath in, like we did when we did a dandelion clock at the beginning. All the way in and all the way out. Lovely side stretches. And we can come back up to sit cross-legged. It's a nice calm class today. We did some balancing. We did some little concentration. We also did some lovely side stretches for our body. So we're going to remember our flower, just to bring our concentration back. Thumbs together and fingers together. Show me your flower. And we're going to roll it 3 times. Backs of your hands, all the way in towards your tummy, and then all the way back out, little fingers touching. Thumbs touch, show me your flower. Roll all the way around, backs of your hands together, all the way through. Little fingers, show me your flower. Last one. Rolling through, backs of your hands. I bet you could all do this now. We had a practice earlier. Show me your flower. And then the last thing, you can hold on as if you're holding your dandelion clock in both hands now. Just put it just underneath your chin. And take a big breath in through your nose. And see how long you can blow out for. One more. Big breath in through your nose. See how long you can blow out for. And our last position is going to be that flower with our feet together and our knees out, holding onto our ankles, sitting up nice and tall with a lovely straight back. And then come forward and see if you can sniff your flower all the way down. See if you can get your head down. And this time you can stay a little bit longer. And then eventually come back up to sit. And I hope you're noticing that when you do your yoga, it helps you to feel calmer and maybe more ready to do other things with a little bit more concentration. Sometimes it just helps us to calm our body down, just moving our bodies around and thinking about our breathing can help us to feel a little bit calmer, ready to do our schoolwork or ready to do some reading. And we're going to leave our yoga there for today. Thank you. See you next time.